It's hard to find something more profound as an engineered object than the F1 engine. The most powerful single-chamber rocket engine ever designed and manufactured. 65 of these engines flew, and there were 0 failures.
The F1 engine represents the pinnacle of achievement in liquid rocket propulsion. It was the most powerful liquid-fueled engine ever known to mankind. 1.5 million pounds of thrust per engine, and 5 engines combined, 7.5 million pounds of thrust. It was just massive brute force technology that propelled men out of Earth's atmosphere and onto the moon.
Apollo 11, I was 5 years old, and it really was a seminal moment for me. I remember watching it on our living room TV. I had the excitement of my parents and my grandparents. Little kids can pick up that kind of excitement. They know that something extraordinary is happening. That definitely became a passion of mine. You know, you don't get to choose your passions choose you. It does take courage to explore.
Yeah.
When you explore, you're doing things that nobody has done before, and things can always go wrong when you're doing something for the first time.
Coming up behind you.
It's a huge dredge job to get one of those out.
You can feel it walking around the ship. Everyone's excited. There is some level of trepidation because we know there are no guarantees.
The team that's been put together for this project is outstanding, and I have confidence that we're going to find what we're looking for.
There are really interesting parallels. That we were cutting edge in the 60s to go to the moon, and with this ship and this technology, these ROVs, we are on the cutting edge of deep ocean exploration as well.
It's an extremely challenging environment to work in. It's extremely challenging technologically, and it's a remote place in the world to operate, and that makes everything we're doing extremely difficult.
3 miles below where I'm standing right now is a wonderland that is testament to the Apollo program. It looks like a magic sculpture garden with all of these pieces from different missions that are, in some cases, perfectly preserved, and in other cases, twisted into these beautiful shapes.
We're working 3 miles down in the deep ocean, and our robots are like marionettes on 3-mile-long cables. Being able to control those robots is a fantastic deep water ballet.
The storm coming in tonight predicted to be 50-foot seas and 60-mile-an-hour winds.
Mariners all over the world have a number of superstitions. You're not supposed to ring the ship's bell. You're not supposed to bring backpacks on board a ship, which unfortunately we did. We've got lots of bananas, and you're not supposed to bring bananas on board either. We are in the Bermuda Triangle. Somehow, we now have the longest weather hold that this experienced crew has ever seen.
We're working over a mile deeper than the Titanic. The recovery of something that weighs 10 tons from this depth is not an easy feat. It's very dangerous lifting that kind of weight. The cables are under a lot of tension. There are a lot of things that could go wrong.
It's incredibly exciting seeing these objects come on deck.
07 on the bottom.
I'm just amazed about the quality of the work done by everybody on this ship.
Something 9 forward slash.
The original vision of recovering these Apollo engines could never have been made possible without all these experts on board.
Good day, guys. Well done.
6-0.
So here we are on St. Patrick's Day. What we're trying to do is to build a moonshine still to celebrate the day.
We're headed back into Cape Canaveral, Florida, where we're going to bring these engines home.
It's one thing to see those F1 engines, read about those F1 engines, but to bring those pieces up on deck and actually touch them, that brought back for me all those feelings I had when I was 5 years old and watched those missions go to the moon.
NASA's calling it a historic find. The space agency believes some of the engines that put America on the moon have been found.
The engines were thought lost forever, never to be recovered.
Engines which helped launch the Apollo astronauts to the moon have been located, last seen more than 40 years ago.
The engines that powered Apollo 11 to the moon played a huge role in space history. Well, Jeff Bezos enjoys a good challenge, and so today, after a year of trying, they brought up engine parts from the deep.
A team in the Atlantic Ocean believes they have found the engines from Apollo 11.
Engines that lifted a nation in a space race with the Soviet Union.
It was the last great American venture, Apollo reaching the moon.
It's one small step for man.
Anything that we can get from that era is fantastic for the American people to have.
The actual artifact put in a museum, people see it and they're going to be amazed.
One of the objectives of the expedition was to recover an engine from Apollo 11. When the engines arrived here, it was undetermined whether that had been a success or not. By chance, one of our technicians was looking at the thrust chamber behind me and using black light discovered the serial number 2044, which turned out to be the center thrust chamber for the Apollo 11 mission.
You're dealing with an amazing collection of metals that have been put together to produce the most powerful machines ever built by mankind.
If this results in one young explorer, one young adventurer, one young inventor doing something amazing that helps the world, I'm totally fulfilled. Maybe they'll build the next F1.
When I grow up, I'd like to be someone who works at NASA. What I like to create, if I could create something, would be a new type of rocket.
It's cool, you can find all kinds of different things up there. You could find all kinds of different stars you never knew about. You can find constellations you never knew about.
In 10,000 years, we don't know what people will remember for sure, but I'm very certain they will remember when mankind first set foot upon the moon.